Hey guys, welcome to the HVAC Diaries. The HVAC Diaries are brought to you by New Calgon. I'm back in my truck this week. Last week I had to go into my dining room and record there because my phone kept overheating. But today it's quite early. I'm trying to beat the heat because we're still in summertime. It's still July and it's still very hot. And although I complain a lot about the heat, I really love summertime. I live for summer. Well, summer weekends. Working in this kind of weather though, it's really, really tough. It makes our job so much more difficult and frankly dangerous. We just have to make sure that we're taking a lot of water breaks and shade breaks and cool breaks because being on those hot roofs in the blasting sun, trying to make other people comfortable, it's really tough. And I will keep complaining about it, even though I love it. We also find that equipment has a hard time keeping up during a heat wave. The equipment that kind of struggles through, like if it has a dirty coil or dirty filters or anything like that, it'll struggle through on a regular day. But during a heat wave, it's just like, no, I'm done. And that's where we get a lot of these service calls. And I've got a few of them for you this week. We had a rooftop unit at a little office area that wasn't working. And when we went onto the roof, we found the unit chugging along, just chugging along. And we noticed right away that the water coming out of the P-trap was black. So when we pulled the panel off, the entire unit was frozen over. The evaporator, like all the way back up to the receiver, just totally frozen over. And we found a thick, fuzzy blanket on the evaporator coil.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
All right, cool.
What if?
There's a blanket in there.
So we grabbed our New Calgon no rinse evaporator spray and cleared that off real quick.
The bubble party.
The bubble party!
You see the bubbles in the coil?
And then I just love sticking my head in the evaporator compartment when it's running, just to get a bit of cool relief in there. Kind of never want to leave.
So nice and cool.
Also found a nice fuzzy blanket on a little reach-in cooler at a hostel really close to the beach in downtown Vancouver.
I got like hundreds of hinges and half.
And oh yeah, I would just get that congealed jelly in there and all the carpet mats. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep, so
sure.
We'll just get that.
And then we were called to a Greek restaurant that we've been servicing. Yeah.
Yeah.
They called us up. They were like, hey, our AC is it's not working. And so we go onto the roof and both of their rooftop units are also just chugging along, just trying so hard. We found really, really dirty filters. Actually, the last time they changed the filters there was July 2022. What the hell? And then also their condenser coil was so dirty.
You know what sucks worse than being on a roof in a heat wave? Being on a white roof in a heat wave.
Yeah.
Both of their units are in fact running. They just cannot keep up with the heat. Yep.
So I don't understand how you do fucking no maintenance at all, and then 2 years later you're like, I wonder why it doesn't work. Please don't think about it later. Yeah.
The guys actually sent me back there the next day to clean that coil by myself. Oh my goodness, what a physically demanding job. Oh, all right, we're having a bit of a heat wave here this week. Today is going to be slightly cooler than yesterday, so I really hope that we'll feel that. Today I'm being sent solo. I'm going to go and clean 2 condenser coils on a Greek restaurant's roof. And then I also have to go change a contactor at a hotel today. And then possibly going to check out a little cooler at a catering place. So lots to do. The heat just takes so much energy out of you. So I'm starting with my like heavily physical job this morning. I'm starting just a little bit early, about an hour early, just hopefully to beat the heat a little bit. Wish me luck.
All right, we were on this roof yesterday. These are these 2 units back here. 1, 2. I got new filters for them because remember how disgusting they were yesterday. So that's number 1, I'm gonna replace the filters. And then I'm also gonna clean the coils on both of these machines today. Unfortunately, we could not find water around the building. So I'm going to have to bring my turbo tank back and forth along this roof as many times as I need to, which sucks. Let's get her done. Before I go any further, I'm just gonna put my sun sleeves on because I'm already dying. Okay, ready. Go. All right, I got a bit of leftover cleaner in there. I'm just gonna top her up with water. Got a little extra reservoir tank, and yeah, here we go. Please work. You worked yesterday. Yes, 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 yes. Beautiful. Oh shit. So this one's diluted now. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more of my cleaner and we're good to go. Don't mind me, I'm out of breath already, but I'm all prepared. I got all of my things filled up. Now I just need to take my spray pump bottle and my turbo tank up the ladder onto the roof and then all the way to the other side of the roof. But I'm gonna leave this guy in this room here so that when I need to refill, I just literally come down the ladder, refill, and then back up so I don't have to go all the way outside to that bib. Let me just close this. There you go. Okay. Okay, let's go. Oh, well, I'm bringing you guys with me today. Ah, this is me. Oh, I go to the gym a lot, you guys. Okay, very slowly and very carefully. Got my things up because I don't have a buddy looking out for me today. Oh, let's catch my breath. All right, now I gotta walk all the way to the other side. It's the very, very last 2 units on this roof. Way over there. Okay, let's go. Okay, oh, my makeup is melting already. Don't laugh, but I brought shorts to work in. I forgot to bring different shoes, but that's fine. These are not work appropriate shorts by any means, but I'm working on this roof by myself. There is no one else here at all, and it's a very like private roof. No one can see what I'm doing, and it is freaking hot. You guys, look, I'm melting. So, work shorts. All right, we're gonna start by turning off this unit and then taking out the fan and then getting her done. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, that's really hard. Great. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. Oh, if you don't fit, I would have been really, really, really mad. So unfortunately this fan is not what I thought. So I'm actually going to do the lazy thing and not take the fan motor out. Considering the job I'm doing today, I'm just going to clean from the outside. It's not ideal, but this is what I'm doing. That's new Calgon, new Bright in action. Grossy gross. Alrighty then, tow bar tank, it's your time to shine, baby. Let's go. Okay, second time. The shorts are definitely helping. Oh, thank goodness. All right, we're sufficiently cleaned and rinsed. All of the dirt is now on the roof. I'm gonna do one big sweep when I'm finished. I'm gonna go onto that guy next, but first I'm just gonna get this guy running because otherwise they're gonna have zero AC downstairs. So this disconnect is not the best. Oh, okay, there you go. I'll wait for that guy to start and then we'll turn this one off. All right, this guy is running now. I'm gonna give it a few minutes, actually the whole time that I'm cleaning this guy. I'm gonna let that happen, just keep chugging along. And then I'm gonna go back and check my pressures and temperatures and compare them. But if I do that now, while the coil is wet, I'm gonna get like a false reading because the coil is still kind of cool with the wetness, the moisture. So I'm gonna let it dry out and then I'll redo those tests. All right, your turn. All right, we got a microchannel coil here. It's gonna do a rinse, a water rinse, no chemicals. Once again, I'm not gonna go through the extent of taking out the fan motor and everything because it's a whole thing. So I'm just gonna do what I can today. So this coil actually isn't all that dirty so far. I mean, okay, I've only done this side so far. This side looks a little bit worse than this side, but this one, it seemed like was just like dusty pollen stuff because I'm not getting a whole lot of really dirty water coming out of there. So this is just a little help for the summertime, but that one was definitely dirty. All right, a fair amount of dirt came out of this side. Yeah, I feel justified being here. All right, it's done. It's done. And I'm done as well. I am so done. Pants are back on, which sucks. Getting off this roof. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, I'm back in my truck. Oh, yes. Oh. Get colder faster. The boss is right on my face. All right, well, I got all my energy back. I just got a second wind. I'm gonna need a third wind though. I had just drank a bunch of Gatorade and ate a McChicken sandwich. And now I am ready for my second job of the day. Let's go. All right, job number 2. I'm just on this little hotel here and I got a contactor to change. Let's go. Here is the contactor in question. Wow, this umbrella makes all the difference in the world. This is not bad at all. All right, got my new contactor in. Here's the old guy. I know I don't need a 3-pole contactor here because obviously one of the legs isn't being used, but when the guys sent me here to change this, they just told me to change like for like, and they gave me this contactor to put in here instead of this one. So I did that, just did what I was told, and yeah, we're done. Alrighty, I'm just gonna pack up all of my stuff here and close this baby up and get out of here.
The maintenance guy there comes up to me while I'm changing. He came up to change some filters on the makeup air unit while I was changing that contactor. So he comes over to me and he like leans over, looks down, and he's like, oh, you know, what are you doing? So I explained to him, I'm just changing the contactor, and he's like, oh yeah, no. Last week I had to shove something in there to make it like stay on. What? No, that's a big no-no. Don't ever force a contactor to stay on. Oh my goodness. No. No. You shouldn't do that.
Oh, not supposed to be.
Yeah,
okay.
because otherwise it'll just make your compressor run all
I know,
time.
all night. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And then I also checked out a cooler, like a reach-in cooler on a catering truck.
All right, I have one more stop to make. I've actually just arrived. I'm gonna go check out a cooler. I think it's a reach-in cooler. Actually, I have no idea what kind of cooler it is. I'm just gonna go check it out because yesterday it wasn't starting, although this morning it started. But anyway, they just want me to check it out. And I have just arrived at a movie set. It's not very exciting, I promise. So let's go and see what's up.
The cooler lives on the catering truck, and during the day they've got a whole bunch of ovens and machinery in there that's creating so much heat, and they've got these 2 skylights that they lift to relieve the hot air out of there. But for some reason, somebody inadvertently, maybe it was a new employee or something, they didn't know any better, I don't know, but somebody inadvertently closed both of those air vents overnight. And so overnight, the fridge just overheated inside that truck that it's in. And so it overheated. So the next morning when they came in, it wouldn't start up because the compressor had overheated. And so by the time I arrived, the compressor had cooled down and it started up again. And so I checked it over. It had a very dirty condenser coil, so I cleaned the fuzz off of that.
Oh yeah, if you do it. Watch your body.
We just got want to kind of monitor it over the next little while and see if maybe it does need a new overload, like a thermal overload or not. But I did start the unit up like 3 or 4 times while I was there just to make sure that it wouldn't overheat. But it seems okay, so I don't know.
Oh look, I'm back in my shorts. Monday is July 15th, so I gotta get all of my bill payments and everything done before that. And because I've got some house guests right now, thought I would just get it done here quickly before the weekend.
We had a call from our Tim Hortons location downtown. They're like, so the AC seems to be leaking a lot of water, like from the ceiling. Please come. So when we arrived, oh my goodness, you guys, it was like raining, a rainstorm in their store, just like pouring. Out of the one unit, so we rush over to the condensate pump there. There was a clog in the drain, so Trevor like released that clog, and the way that it's set up there is it's terrible. One condensate pump pumps into another pump, which pumps out into a drain. And so we relieved the clog in the one, and then as we did that, the water just rushed into that condensate pump, pumped into the next one, which was already full, and started a second flood in another part of their store. We're just like running around like, it's freaking raining from the ceiling. I panicked a little bit, I have to admit, I panicked. Anyway, so we went down the line and found the main drain going into the drain was all clogged. So we pulled out a whole bunch of like snotty clogginess. What do you call that? Dirt.
Okay, keep it running.
Yeah, let's keep going.
And we got it flowing out of there. But the way that whole store is set up is just not good. You guys hear me complain every time we work there. Every piece of equipment that we work on there, I complain about because it's just the worst. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Thank you for listening. We had another clogged drain, this time on a little beverage display grab and go cooler at a, what do they make? They do like kebabs and stuff like that at a food court in a mall.
This one is just, it's leaking water, so let's see if we can, well, it looks pretty, like, snotty in there.
There's a lot of water in there.
So when we got there, the guy's like, yeah, this cooler seems to be leaking water. So we investigate, and we had to pull all of their beverages off of it. Luckily, it was just after the lunch rush. It was like 2 o'clock. So when we got there, there were just so many people waiting in the line for their stuff. But by the time we started working on it, the people had kind of left. So we quickly unpacked that whole cooler. Lifted up the shelves, and sure enough, there's just like dirt and dust and debris and stuff that falls into it.
Sorry.
And I guess if they don't lift that up every once in a while, we suggested that they clean it out like every 6 months or so, just to make sure. But yeah, so all of that stuff just goes, like, finds its way to the drain and then just sits there and clogs it. So we just got rid of that clog and made a bit of a mess because the drain pan underneath is only so shallow. It's like only this big or whatever. So that thing filled and then overflowed pretty quickly. But yeah, lying on the mall floor, good times. During my solo day, Trevor and my dad diagnosed a faulty relay on a rooftop unit, and they sent me back there the next day to replace that faulty relay.
All right, just got out onto the roof here. And I am looking for unit number 7 so that I can change this relay on it. Unit number 7. These are at least nicely labeled. That's 13. Where is number 7? 14. Keep going. That's number 1. There's that ridiculous Samsung unit that everyone gives me shit for on Instagram. There's 9 over there. What is this guy? This one is not labeled. Okay. Alright, let's keep going. I'm gonna find it together. You guys excited for this adventure that we're on? So nice. At least it's a nice day. Oh, there's number 7. We got it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your help. Okay. Turn power off. We'll double check it with our little tester just to make sure. Okay, nothing, no power. Okay, let's go. 7K65. Okay, let's see. Alright, that's what I'm doing. Changing that relay right there. Okay. Here's my old one. It's okay, it's okay. Alright, here's my old relay. And the new one is in. Ready to rock and roll. Okay, there we go. Beautiful.
We went to this really fancy little pizzeria. They have a reach-in freezer that the lady calls. She's like, it's just not getting cold enough. And when we arrived, it was sitting at like 4 degrees Celsius.
What is that problem? Is it hot? It doesn't feel hot.
When we opened the door, it was all frozen over on the inside, and the evaporator fan wasn't spinning.
Solid.
Yeah, it's frozen completely inside there. Fan's not running.
So immediately, I was like, oh, we need a new evaporator fan motor. That's easy peasy. Let me go grab one from the truck. My dad comes along and he's like, well, let's just take a look here for a second. He's like, we need to make sure that the door switch is making contact or working properly. So basically there's a little switch. So when you open the door, it turns the light on and turns the fan off. So it doesn't blow all that cold air right out. It does that. So we're testing that. The door switch didn't seem to be working.
Well, it's not running.
No, I know. But I thought if it's open circuit, you're also not going to find. I just don't want to change the fan, and it's not the fan.
Alrighty. Got a little temporary bypass. So that doesn't matter. Still no fan.
Does the light switch on and off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I'm like, okay, well, we have a faulty door switch. But then my dad's like, wait. Let's make sure that the controller is sending a signal to the door switch. We checked that, and it was not. So we did a little bit more diagnosing and figured that the digital controller was faulty, not sending a signal to the door switch. So we replaced that controller really quickly. And unfortunately, I left my 360 camera in the truck for that particular job. So I tried to get videos with my phone, and just the way that it was, it didn't work out. It was the video turned out really, really dark. So whatever.
All right, well, here's the faulty controller. Let's go. You want to power me up? I'm ready. All right.
the point where I can get the kit. Fix it.
We were called to our cardboard factory where they've got this electrical closet with all of this electrical equipment that generates so much heat. They've got 2 ACs, they're like panel ACs that fit into the door of this cabinet. And both of those weren't working in this one cabinet. One of them was icing over and the other one was just like short cycling a little bit.
Just one sec.
And what we found on those was a faulty fan motor, a faulty evaporator fan motor in the one and a faulty condenser fan motor in the other one. So they're going to order new fans for us from the manufacturer of their units, and then we'll go and replace them when they arrive. We did have our crane day this week. Crane day is always so exciting and so stressful. Wish me luck. We lifted our unit onto the roof in that city that I've been concerned about. Although we did it on the hottest day, we reached over 100 degrees Fahrenheit that day. And so because of that, we strategically planned on just doing the lift and not actually doing the job that day. So they had a spare unit, condensing unit on their roof. It's just like a scrap that's been sitting there. So we got rid of that one. And unfortunately, we're going to put the unit that's currently working right now, we're going to make that the old scrap. I shouldn't even tell you this, but we got rid of one unit and we lifted up a new unit. And we're going to go back there next week when it's a little bit cooler to do the actual installation. But I will say that the day we've chosen Wednesday of next week. That's already the hottest day of next week. So strategically, maybe that didn't work out as well as we planned or hoped, but we have to get that unit changed out as soon as possible. So that's going to be fun and exciting and challenging, not stressful at all.
Alrighty, here we are. We're getting rid of that unit, and we got a new one coming.
Okay. Okay, what?
Hey. Perfect. All right, we've got our new unit up here. We're just gonna drop it, and we're gonna come back next week and install it when the weather is less heat wavy.
And my big story for this week, I'm not even sure how far I'm going to get into it because I think I might use it as like a separate vlog one day. But our big story of the week is a pizza prep cooler at a Domino's Pizza that it's got 2 sections on it. It's one refrigeration system, so one compressor, but it's got a rail cooling system and a cabinet cooling system.
Oh, another one of these.
So basically they put out their toppings in little containers so that when they're making their pizza, it just like grab and grab and grab, but all of those containers are kept cool by the rail. and then they have storage on the underneath. That has to be cool as well. So the railing was cooling perfectly fine, but the cabinet wasn't cooling at all. So we diagnosed a couple of things there. At first, we thought that the thermostat was faulty, just because of the way the rail was cooling, but the cabinet wasn't. And on the same vein, so we tested that, and the thermostat actually works the way that it's supposed to. It's not faulty. Then we decided maybe the solenoid valve was not opening, because the solenoid valve for the railing was opening no problem, but it didn't seem to be opening for the cabinet. But that also could have been because of other reasons. So anyway, finally my dad confirmed that the TXVs, the expansion valves, were both faulty. So inside the cabinet there are 2 evaporators with fans and expansion valves and everything.
Where is it?
And so my dad determined that both of the TXVs there were faulty. Now, it's a whole big thing online where people always blame the TXV when they don't know what else to blame. Oh, it's the TXV, the TXV. But the running joke is that it is never the TXV. Or, sorry, it's very rarely the TXV. So when my dad was like, oh, it's both the TXVs, I gave him a bit of a hard time, because I'm like, that doesn't happen very often. It's a very rare occurrence. Like, are we sure? Are we sure it's not the solenoid? Like, anyway, he was very determined that it was both the TXVs. So we asked the guy to order it, because it comes from like the Domino's headquarters or whatever. So order up the TXVs, and they arrived the next day. They were supposed to come at the end of the week, but they arrived the next day. So we went the following day to do this surgery. And together, the 3 of us replaced those TXVs. Okay, Trevor did all the hard work. Trevor did the brazing. He took out the old ones. He put the new ones in. He actually did a really beautiful job, considering the conditions we were working in underneath, like in this little cabinet. Anyway, he did such a great job. And so after we vacuumed everything, we put everything back together, we ran the unit, and sure enough, it ran beautifully with those 2 new TXVs. All right, we're just doing like final testing and everything. So it was the TXVs. Both TXVs. 2. Have you ever seen that before? No? Okay, so we got a first here.
Just then the expansion valve. Good. Yep.
It's never the expansion valve.
Very seldom.
But this time it was 2 expansion valves. What my dad thinks happened was one of the expansion valves died a long time ago, and then the other one has just been like chugging along, trying to do the work of both. And so finally that one just was like, and so now we had to replace both TXVs. Yeah. All right, guys, that's all I have for you this week. I know it was a very, very busy week. Hopefully I've edited this in such a way that it's not so long and crazy this week. Yeah, summertime is my favorite. I love it. I love all the craziness and the busyness and the excitement and the stress, and I love it all. I love it all. Even though I will complain about it all day long, I do love it. So thanks for coming. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you guys next week. Have a good one. Bye, guys. Working in this kind of way, and I will come. Now, when I arrived there, the cooler was working as it should. The cooler, yeah, just kind of, and they've got 2, why am I staring? What am I trying to think of? What else did I? What was I gonna say? Shit. I don't know. The end?
check, make sure that it seems to be working okay. And if it's not, then we'll come back and do another, take a look at it. But wow, words are hard. I am having a hard time speaking English.
K6501. Perfect. Alright, so now just kidding. I never actually throw the pots, you guys know that. Come on. Come on. Alright, now where did that tiny little screw go to, you little shit? Obviously it's gonna be somewhere I can't see or get to. Aha, I found it.